election committee, which was a surprise for everybody. Because you would normally send the troops to the National Assembly and block all the National Assembly members to get into the assembly and vote to end the martial law, because the majority party is the opposition party, which is the Democratic Party. They would all, of course, vote to end the martial law. And that could be possible.
Yeah.
But the reason why he went to the National Election Committee was because it's an independent-run organization in Korea, and even the president can't get an access to National Election Committee data and servers and everything. So he had to declare the martial law and force it.
Okay, explain. Okay, I need to step back.
Right.
He had the National Election Committee raided when he declared martial law. Is that what happened?
Yes, that's correct. He sent about 300 troops there.
Wow.
Secretly. And it was found out later that everybody found out later about it. Since 2020, we had election fraud in 2020 April for our general election. And it's because of all the voting machines and all the data came out to be very strange. So that's been going on for about 4 years. And now finally he tried to expose that as well through the martial law.
Yeah, I remember I reported on some of the reporting that was coming out on some of these strange things they found with their elections, and I know the investigations have been ongoing. But it's interesting now that the president, when he declared martial law, that's what he went for.
Yes,
wow, that's
correct.
A big deal.
And the surprising thing was that the server that he found had a password, which was 12345.
Oh wow, very secure.
Which is very secure, right?
Joking, very insecure, but
Right.
that's interesting.
So allegedly, North Korean spies might have hacked into the servers as well as the Chinese Communist Party goes.
Well, and that's important because after martial law was declared and rapidly ended, the president came out in Korea and actually gave a statement, and he did mention that, actually. He did mention they found this server, and the password was 12345, and he noted it was very insecure.
Yes.
And this was before the recent attempts to now impeach him.
Right, exactly.
But what did he actually say was his reason for declaring it when he gave these statements? What was his actual statement?
So he said his main reason for doing that was to drive out all the anti-state forces in Korean government. It's just like in America. It's similar but different, you know? Like I told you, in Korean government, we have a lot of pro-North Korean funded maybe, or spies, politicians, and he was trying to expose them out. And he knew that the martial law wouldn't last long, but he still did it because he wanted to maybe expose all the bad ones. And we did have a lot of establishment conservative politicians who would also fall into the Democratic agenda with them. So those were the ones who voted to impeach our president for the second round of voting.
Well, there was something really interesting that came out, because you're saying that there's a lot of people in Korea who are suspected of being tied to China, mainland China, the Chinese Communist Party, and North Korea.
Yes.
President Yoon, again, the president of South Korea, actually said this in his statement. And one thing he said in particular was that there were instances of Chinese spies going into South Korea, committing very open, acts of foreign espionage.
Oh my
and
gosh,
he said that they couldn't prosecute it in Korea.
No.
He said the police couldn't do anything about Chinese spies because Korean law forbids them to go after Chinese spies.
That's crazy.
And what's crazy is when I was in Korea, I was told this by some of my own sources, and it's shocking.
It's shocking.
How can you? Why is it? Why is it that South Korea, they can go after? I mean, again, you're facing the problem of North Korea, but they can't do anything about Chinese spies operating on their own borders? How is this even possible?
I can explain that by saying how different Korean government politics system is. So in America, I believe not everyone, but most of the people here are driven by the ideologies and values that they believe. But in Korea, it's more about politicians getting successful in their jobs, in their careers. And that's all they care about. And that's why sometimes they have to compromise themselves with Chinese spies or North Korean spies. So that's probably the main reason why there are a lot of compromised politicians in Korean government. And we've always known that, but President Yoon was probably the first one in the recent history that